black people started electing black people. And it should come as no surprise that black people who were becoming very successful, like John Hyman, in getting elected to these positions, and these were brilliant people. They were straight off the plantation into the House of Representatives. Straight off the plantation, writing legislation about tax codes, about infrastructure. Straight off the plantation. Creating legislations about school, about agriculture. Straight off of the plantation, so you know that black people did not have to be convinced to vote. Of course I want to vote for someone who has my story, who has my parents' story. And they were so proud. But as you know, when black people start to get political power in this country, as soon as there starts to be some momentum, some shift, some dignity, white supremacy starts lurking its head around the corner with those envious eyes, envious of black joy, envious of black success, envious of black political progress. So what happened? You had the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. You had what they like to call riots. I mean, it's really massacres. You have these massacres happening in places like Wilmington, North Carolina. You have lynchings happening all across the South. You have people being harassed and threatened to have their houses burned down if they go vote. All of this is happening only because people were so evil to be threatened by somebody like a 35-year-old formerly enslaved John Hyman from Warrenton, who just came up there to represent his people, and black people who just went to vote. But I'm here to tell you that even though John Hyman and Ella Baker may have passed without seeing all of the things realized, all of the blossoms, all of the things that they planted come to fruition, even though they did not necessarily live to see it all the way through. I'm sure it had to be depressing to be a young John Hyman finally proud to see you and your peers on Capitol Hill, only to know that your election is what spawned an entire erasure of black people throughout the South. And I mean that physically and philosophically, the erasure of black people. So, even though that happened though, even though you had the era of SNCC go by, and you had the Reconstruction Act and all of these different eras of legislation where then, of course, what happened is the Union, they pulled their troops back. They didn't actually do what we're taught a lot about American government coming in and freeing the slaves and making sure that everything was okay. When the heat got hot, they actually pulled back, which put black people in an even more vulnerable position. Because they had Union troops on the street one day, and then they're gone, and it's just you and the KKK. So, what does this mean? How do we get out of this? I mean, this is triumphant, but it's not the most hopeful message that you could get coming into today. But there's a reason that people like me and you are able to go from Reconstruction to Ella Baker to still being able to cast a ballot. And it is because together, very good, together, it's because together we stand. Now, today, in 2026, we are seeing some of the most aggressive, egregious attacks on black voting come out of the General Assembly since Reconstruction.
when Governor Hunt was trying to dump toxic waste near residential areas in Warren County. His name was Willie Burnett Sr.
All right.
My grandfather. And it's not just one of those things. You know how sometimes your family will tell you nice stuff about your family just because they're your family? And, you know, they'll just tell you, like, you know, your granddaddy, blah, 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 but it may or may not be true. You know what I mean? They just might kind of exaggerate. But it wasn't even my family that reiterated and doubled down on that. I went to Floyd McKissick Sr.'s daughter's birthday party because she was my advisor in college at NCCU. Her brother, Floyd McKissick Jr., was there and pulled me aside and he said, "Let me tell you about your granddaddy, Willie." And he ran down everything I just ran down. And here I am talking to Floyd McKissick's son. So if anybody knows what an activist is supposed to look like, and he's telling me about my grandfather, who I had heard murmurs, but I did not know that he had done that much for the foundation of democracy. And he's another example about how Warren County has mobilized. I don't know if you all know, but Warren County is considered the bedrock of the environmental justice movement. Right. Nobody, so, you know, when you see people out here talking about climate change and green stuff and sustainability and solar panels and electric cars and clean air and global warming, nobody was talking about the land and the environment until people in Warren County started protesting about toxic waste in the 1970s and 80s. They were not using that language. Warren County was the first place that brought cameras and newspapers and scholarly journals and academics to understand that there was a such thing called environmental racism. Right. The idea that you could use the land to kill people. You could use their surroundings. You could pollute their air. And then it was because of that case that people started looking at other examples across the country of environmental racism. They started looking at how certain factories that were emitting certain smoke and gases were placed in urban areas near black residential areas. They started looking at how in places like the PD River, where a lot of black and brown people use that as a water source, they were not filtering that water. Things like this. They were starting to see this environmental racism thing is real. And it was because of Warren County. So, as I mentioned today, in 2026, we now see a backlash that I like to say was already snowballing, but ever since 2008, this country and all over the South has seen some egregious, aggressive attempts to stop black people from voting. A lot of other legislation too. To kill our chances in education, to of course keep the criminal justice system unfair, to make sure that our healthcare system is still inaccessible. We know that. But they specifically have started doing, but have not stopped doing everything they can to stop us from voting. And it's gotten so sophisticated. How many of you all know you need to bring an ID to the polls? Okay, now you know, so you raise your hand. You need to bring an ID to the polls. You didn't need to bring an ID to the polls 3 years ago. So why is it that the older you're getting, the more complicated the process is becoming? It used to be that you could go vote on Sunday. Y'all remember Souls to the Polls? You ever
from church and go vote. Very convenient. And we still have to go back and forth to keep Sunday voting legal. Right now there's a bill to eliminate Sunday voting. Why would you want to eliminate Sunday voting? Because who votes on Sunday after church? Black people. Exactly. They're trying to reduce early voting from 17 days to 10 days. Now, during early voting, you can vote anywhere. You don't have to be registered as long as you're in your county. And if you're not registered, you can go register to vote. So, if you're going to move precincts away from black neighborhoods, which is something they're doing, then the best scenario would be for someone to go vote anywhere that they can. So if you take that away, you reduce the access because you're keeping people who have, like at North Carolina A&T, for example, they've removed their voting precinct just this year. So in early voting, that would mean they could go anywhere that's close by. But if you take that right away, then you're going to make it harder for a population that is already difficult to drive to the polls, and that's young people. We know that young black people are more likely to vote during early voting. Because we know that if you just have one day, like November 4th, and you don't get off work, which most black people do, they work, they can't just take off and leave, or black people may have children that they can't just leave at home so they can go vote. So this is what I mean, it's gotten so sophisticated. They are trying to keep us out of the ballot box. They're trying to keep you away from being able to make decisions about your life, about your body, about your neighborhood, and it is only because of white supremacy and racism. But how many of you know that together we stand? Together we stand. So how do we get over this? So right now, I am the organizing program manager of nonprofit and direct service engagement at Democracy North Carolina. So what I do is I work with nonprofits, like the North Warren Alumni Association. It's one of the nonprofits I work with. And what they have to do is register people to vote and get pledges from people just saying that they will. Those two things. And it is behavior like that that makes sure that we can drive people to the polls. It is behavior like that that actually connects people who are already known and loved in the community with people who need to have someone register them to vote. And it is that sort of culture, that nonprofit collective culture, again, that was born right here in Warren County. So, as I come to a close, I just want to remind you all that Warren County is a place that we will have to look back to if we have any choice of going forward as democracy is being taken away from black people every single generation more egregiously than the other. Ella Baker is the type of person we're going to have to listen to if we want to know how to build communities that can sustain themselves and lead each other in moments like this where we need strong movements led by strong people. It is going to take people like John Hyman, people who at 35 years old realize that they can do anything so long as they keep their community and their faith behind them. And it is going to take the descendants of those people in Warren County, those people like you, your grandchildren, their children, to understand that they have an entire foundation of love, an entire foundation of generations who were successful in so many movements because they knew that together, and I want to say, whether it be Eva Clayton,
G.K. Butterfield, L. Baker, Floyd McKissick, we have a fleet of people that have set the tone for what it means. Andrea Harris, for what it means to be a black person in this country who is fighting for freedom on the front lines of democracy. Thank you so much. My name is Gala.
We skipped a part because between the introduction and you speaking, we were supposed to hear the song Young, Gifted, and Black. Oh. And I think you should take that as your theme song. Because I went to a women's conference in Georgia at World Changers. And Pastor Taffy came in with theme music every day. But the first day she came in, they did her introduction. And then we heard this dum 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 dum, and it repeated, and everybody recognized. So it came out. She's a bad man pajama. So I like that as a theme song for yours. Young, Gifted, and Black. So we didn't do it with you coming up. So as you go, can we cue that up? So as you slowly walk to your seat, take that as your things. All right. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be young. It's great to be black. Amen. It's exciting to be gifted. And to put all three of them together in one body is phenomenal. So thank you, Odessa and Curtis, for giving us Desmira. Amen. Thank you. Now, next, we have more music to come up because after hearing that message, it's time for us to wake up. Because while we're still standing strong, we're not as strong, I think, as we used to be. She talked about the culture of Warren County that started all those things. Are we still that culture? Are we still thinking highly of ourselves? Are we still influencing young people to go higher and strive and go out into the world, but remember your proud roots where you came from? So I encourage you to go back to your family members. Talk to them about the people in your family that have made an input in the county, in the world. Because many times people don't know what's in their family. Years ago, when they had the flight program at Warren County High, and they had the Tuskegee Airmen coming in from Goldsboro to speak. And my mother said, I wonder if Hernando is coming. I said, why would he come? She looked at, that was a cousin of ours, Hernando Palmer. She said, because he's a Tuskegee Airman. I said, he is? I didn't know. And there are a lot of things because they aren't going to talk about it to you. Because I'm sure Mr. Burnett didn't say a word to anybody. And like she said, Floyd McKissick had to talk to her about it. Start talking about your family members, okay? Know your own family history and tell other people too. Now I would like to acknowledge some good-looking young people who have served you faithfully and served you well tonight. And I would ask you to give them a standing ovation for these former and present scholarship recipients. As a matter of fact, I said I wasn't going to do this, but bring the line around here, please. Come on around to the podium, because what I want you to do is just tell everybody in the building your name and who your parents are, okay? We want to know your name and who your parents are and where you're going to school now. Come on.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Caitlin Andrews. My parents are Jamal and Nicola Andrews. My grandmother is Catherine, and my grandfather is John Andrews. And I am attending Wake Forest University. I'm currently there. I have 1 year.
Okay, hello. My name is Danielle Andrews. I'm her sister. That's my grandmother, Catherine Andrews. My grandfather is John Andrews, and I attend Winston-Salem State University.
Hello, my name is Leandria Days. My mother is Gabrielle Green. My grandmother is Andre Green. I attend Louisville City State University.
If you just graduated too.
No.
Okay, tell us something.
Everett, and my mom's name is Desra. And my grandma's name is Odessa. And I live in the school.
My name is Isaiah Andrew. My father's name is Brian Andrew, and I'm currently attending Vanceboro Community College over here at the main campus. I'm majoring in automotive engineering.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Jonathan Andrews. I'm the son of Corey Andrews and Renika Andrews. My grandma is Miss Catherine Andrews. My grandfather is John Andrews. I'm currently undecided, but I will be going to school in the fall.
Where you was at on TV?
Oh, I didn't want to talk about it, but also state champion. Yeah.
So, you see, we put our money in good places. A lot of them are named Andrews. So, thank you, Catherine, for your seed. Okay. Now, okay. Next. Oh, y'all not gonna come up and tell me. Okay. All right. Now, next. Well, we heard wake up everybody in the background. So we mean that wake up in the sense of get back on the job that you said you were too old for. As long as you're breathing in air, you're not too old to tell your story to your family members. And that keeps the dream alive. It only dies when you keep your mouth shut. Now, to do a recognition of guests. And while she's coming forward, those of you who would still like to participate in class giving, some of you have sent your money in advance, but if there's someone who wishes to contribute to class giving, please meet the representative out at the registration table, and Miss Carolyn Mayfield Davis will meet you there, and Miss Vera Palmer will meet you there so they can take any more funds that you may want to give for class giving. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I'm to recognize special guests. Special guests would be, to me, the scholarship recipients whom we just saw and heard from, but they are miraculous. They're doing a great job as greeters. Excuse me, please. Also, my family, Deborah, Tony, Everett, my husband Curtis, and my granddaughter Joyous. I don't know where she disappeared to. But anyway, thank you all for being here and just gracing us with your wonderful presence. Also, I would like to introduce to you all, to some, but a lot of you already know the national officers. I will call your names and you can either stand or you can remain seated if you prefer. I would just like people to see the people who keeps the ball rolling and the wheels turning in this organization. First, I'd like to name Martina G. Williams. Stand, please. Hard-working lady. She gets the job done. She's our vice president, as you know, the chairperson of this event this evening. Also, Reginald Hinton. Where are you, Reginald? A person with a great mind. He has so much knowledge, and he's not old, but he has a lot of wisdom. Our secretary, Arvella Scott. She takes long minutes, and they're always accurate. She does a great job. Our financial secretary, Carolyn.
She's out in the mess.
Okay, Carolyn Mayfield Davis. She's very, very good with numbers. And our treasurer, Ruby Downey. Okay, there she is. She does an excellent job. Every month, I mean, she knows those numbers and the categories right at the top of her head. Thank you, Ruby. She keeps us straight. Our chaplain, Maddie Stinnett. Thank you. She is so Is there anybody I missed?
Frank.
Okay. Well, thank you all, the special guests, the special people. I called your name, right, Ben? Of course, we got to call Ben Stewart. Yes. You see how humble he is? He wasn't going to say a word. Now, how do you look now?
Frank Hendricks and Manny Karen.
Okay, Frank Hendrick. Pardon me?
Stan husband.
All our former presidents can stand, please. Is Ben and Frank.
Or wave a hand.
If you prefer to be seated, that's fine. Okay.
Oh, you was my cousin.
Oh, he wants everybody to know that he's related to me. Yes, you're my cousin. And I cherish you. I really think a lot of Frank Hendrick. Sometimes we talk and the time is getting later and later, but that makes him more stirred up. So thank you for being there and listening to me, and know that I will always listen to you. So everybody, thank you so much. I have my aunts here, we grew up beside each other, and Dr. Powell and his wife Naomi and Andre. We just love you so much. They're always willing and able to help us. And all of you, you have really done so much for the organization, and you're all special guests. Laverne, I see you shaking your head. She's full of fire. She's dynamite. She's just she's the same now as she was when she was in high school. I know you were the most active in the class, right? So thank you so much to all of you. God bless you, and I hope to see you again next year. Bye-bye.
Now, you know, I am not a refrigerator. I don't keep nothing. So I got a secret to tell you about this man behind me. He's not getting paid. He came as a service to the organization, and he brought all of that equipment, loaded it up, came here, and is working for us for free. Don't tell him I said so. Just stand up and act like all of a sudden everybody in the room just decided to stand and clap. So, as a token from the organization, we'd like to give you this. Thank you. No, he didn't. And he ain't getting paid. But he does have a token. Thank you so much.
While she's coming, I do want to mention the fact we have a great band also here. So we have a special occasion band. They're here. I kind of kept a little low because I was expecting them to take it on home. So they're coming. So everybody hang around.
Carrie Hendrick, where are you?
Right here.
I said, did I miss anybody?
I told Karen.
But thank you for all that you do. does a splendid job. She has so much patience. She has the patience of Job, and that's a lot of patience. But thank you, Kara, so much. God bless you.
Now, since we don't believe in doing a lot of exercise, our exercise has to be done on the floor. So we're going to hurry up and move this on along so that we can get the band up and you all can just show me some of the dances of the day. So coming along next, we have the recognition of classes, Carolyn Mayfield Davis, Ruby Downey, and Dr. Vera Palmer. So, excuse me. So, yes, they need a little time to get their calculations together. And anybody have any idea who you think is going to be the top class in attendance this year in 2026? Anybody got an idea?
66.
Who's going to take the attendance award?
66.
I'm hearing 66. I heard what? 69.
67.
I heard 67.
69.
What class do you think, the earliest class, do you think we will have represented tonight? Maybe class of 50. Yeah. And you know, when I was going through the registration forms, a lady from the 40s she said the sweetest little note, said she wouldn't be able to attend, but she wanted you to always know that she was supporting, and she sent her, I think it was Century Club money and a donation for her class. From the class of, I believe it was 41. 49? Oh, okay, 49. No, you're talking about Miss Bobo, it's 49. Oh, okay, so 49. All right. Come forward. She wrote on her note that she's 94 years old. Miss Juanita Russell. And still sending in her membership and other funds. It wasn't Juanita Russell. Yeah. The one I'm speaking about is Russell. Okay. You're not 94, are you? Oh, okay, all right. That's a different Juanita. Okay. She a little younger than that. We'll see in just a minute when the music cranks up. You're gonna roll on out there, aren't you? Roll on out there. It'll be all right. People move out your way. Yes, sir.
One other thing about Juanita Russell, her maiden name is Howell, Howell, and she was a teacher here at right. She was the librarian here back in the early 1950s.
All right. I also noticed when I was going through the forms that Ruby Pinchback Rogers still sends in her money. Is still a member. Some of you remember Miss Pinchback from North Park. Okay, so she's probably in her 90s too, isn't she? No, she's probably back. So, people remember North Park. Now, what I want you to do for next year is invite your children to come with you. Because we have to have somebody to turn this organization over to. We, unlike most people, we purchased our campus. We're renovating that campus. take over from when we're gone. Because if we don't develop a succession plan, it's going to have to go to the county. Because the county will be the only people who could afford to keep it up. Now, we bought it from the county, fixed it up, and if we don't get some young people in here to take over from us, we're going to have to give it back to the county. Okay? So, recruit your children. We're still waiting for the class giving people to come. I believe they're coming at this time. And I am wondering who's going to have best attendance. Who you think is going to have the most money? Because they don't always land in the same place. All right. So please welcome Miss Carolyn Mayfield Davis and Dr. Vera Palmer as they come to tell you the results of class giving. Now let me say to those of you from the years of 70 and up, everybody else is one class at a time. Where all the classes from 1970 to 2026 are clumped in together. Shouldn't we have most money? We're going to have to work on that next year, okay?
Hello, everyone. I am very, very proud to represent the class of 1969. The last class of North Warren High School. All of you can go home now. 1969 has the largest attendance and also the greatest amount of money collected this year or / donated. Okay, all jokes aside, let's get down to business. No. I'm starting with 1925 through 1940. That's what, in 1925 was when Warren County Training School was first opened. If you are here and you represent either of those years, please stand or raise your hand. Okay. 1941. 1942.
I'm not standing for 42. Let's get this straight. I'm standing in the top.
1943.
Can we ask the hostess if they would please come inside and when they stand, count and give us the number when they stand for their class?
Speak in the microphone.
Oh, it's just.
All hostess and hosts, if you would come in and help us with the count. When someone stands or raises the hand, please count them for us. I'm going to go back to 143. Okay. 1944.
Just don't nobody step on it anymore.
1945. 1946. 1947. 1948. 1949.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Carol Mayfield Davis from the great class of 1966. All right. Vera wants me to do the 50s so she can do the 60s, and I don't like that, but I'm gonna follow her lead. All right. Is there anyone here from the class of 1950? Come on, stand up, Miss Eva. That class of 1950. We have a donation from that class of $100. Anyone from 1951? 1952. 1953. 1954. 1955. We have a donation of $200 for the class of 1956. 1957. We have a donation of $275 for 1957. 1958. 1959. We have a donation of $150. Let me correct myself. Class of 1955 should be a donation of $250.
Class of 1960, if you would stand. A donation of $325. 1961. 1962. A donation of $62. 1963. 4. Okay, and a lady at this table did not stand, so that's 3. Miss Esther. But let me give you the figure plus, let me add this in. Okay, the amount for 1963 is $3,223.91. for class of 1964 is $300. 1965, if you will stand. A donation of $465. 1966. Okay, the amount for class of 1966 is that's my brother's class. That's the reason I'm messing with them also. It is $1,140. Okay, 1967. Five. Six. Okay, the total amount for 1967 is $325. 1968.
We had $625 on class of 67 that we had registration.
We're getting straight.
Tell us that number again.
625.
And to what she said, 625.
And 625, what she just said.
Hang on. Class of 1967, please accept our apology. That comes to $990. 19